everybody, I'm Mike Coppolino, and I'm doing some street comedy. This is going to be Jokes for Schizophrenics, album practice number 32. I am wearing my bifocals, so I don't have any distance vision, and I'm just trying to enjoy this right now because I have the phone in my hand. I should edit these just to edit all that extemporaneous bullshit out. I mean, but yeah, I had to say extemporaneous in that moment, so excuse me. But what are we doing? This is like, I don't know what day it is. It's Wednesday. I mean, you shouldn't know what Wednesday is, but I'm doing it. So I'm gonna tell jokes on a Wednesday. I think it's like the 7th. All right. So hey everybody. Don't want to be controversial or anything. I don't want to be controversial, but I'm here. So, anyways, I think there's a lot less school shootings if they quit having back to school sales at the gun store. I think that would solve the problem. Actually, no. I think the real problem would be solved. We'd have no more school shootings if kids were allowed to smoke cigarettes. We wouldn't have any more school shootings because then, kids could just be cool again. And they wouldn't have any need to do it. So, that's my controversial bits. I actually have way more controversial bits. So what's the worst thing about doing cocaine in a bathroom? Worst thing is not seeing your kids on the weekend. That's the worst thing about doing cocaine in a bathroom. Like I said, this is an edgy show. So, I've been taking pills for anxiety. And so far it's been fucking terrifying. It's fucking crazy. I complained to my doctor about it. My doctor said, quit worrying, I know what I'm doing. I said, of course you know what you're doing. You're a great white shark. You're a great white shark. You're 11 feet long, Yeah, thank Obamacare for hiring sharks to do our medicine now. Anyways. So if you're microdosing, quit wasting my time and give me your drugs. Right? And so I'm terrible at relationships. All of my ex-girlfriends still like me. People keep telling me I live in a bad neighborhood because I built it myself. It's not true. I actually live in a bad neighborhood because they sell heroin there. But that's not my fault. Oh, man. So my girlfriend applied for a job at a strip club. She didn't get it. She forgot to bring 2 forms of humiliation to the job interview. Yeah, she was pissed when she got home. She was totally pissed. She was just waving her cowboy hat and hula hoop around like a maniac. Saying, hey, don't you find me attractive? Don't you find me attractive? And she kept saying that and chasing me around the house until she trapped me in the kitchen. And then I said, of course I find you attractive. You trapped me in the kitchen. And I don't know if it's my job to build up her self-esteem, but I said, hey, if you wore those shoes, that's like one each. That's one form of humiliation each. I should have counted that. I mean, it's not like we have a bathtub full of eels or a Japanese website, but I didn't say all of that because she stabbed me in the shoulder. Yeah, she stabbed me in the shoulder. And that's the last time I ever did meth. So where am I at right now? Okay. Oh man, somebody accused me of being a nihilist the other day. It was a comic. They accused me of being a nihilist, and I accused them of getting me. So I was in an adult bookstore because, hey, look at me. Thank you. People keep telling me I look like Ron Jeremy. It's true. People keep telling me I look like Ron Jeremy. Sometimes I get so depressed about it, I have to go to a support group for Ron Jeremy lookalikes. Every Thursday we all show up, we talk about our dicks until someone feels insecure. Thank you. So I've had my problem with cocaine. I've had a problem with coke, if you can believe that. Once it got so bad, I ended up going to an NA meeting. I was so strung out. I had to wave my paycheck around almost 3 minutes before I got any coke. So I saw a commercial the other day, and it made me insecure. This commercial, Durex condoms. They just came out with a condom that enhances male sensitivity. It enhances male sensitivity. That's what we've been waiting for, right? For added protection, each condom is wrapped in its own little apology note. Then I saw this news story right after the commercial. I saw this news story where this man in Alabama swallowed a live trout. He wandered into a stream and caught a live fish with his hands, and then he swallowed it. And then he made the news because he died. Yeah, he choked to death on a live fish, you know? Just goes to show you, not all people are pelicans. And not all people are pelicans, but of course some people are pelicans. You know, they're magical creatures. You can only see them if you're 18 years or older. So where am I at right now? What have I done? Oh God. So how many popes does it take to screw in an altar boy? How many popes does it take to screw in an altar boy? I'm asking you. How should I know? You know, I have repressed memories. Oh. I'm pretty Italian. You know, I'm Italian enough to do that joke. It's also my second worst joke. It's my second worst. But there's a lot more jokes that are better than that one. You know? Oh man. So my new fetish is looking suspicious. My new fetish is looking suspicious. It's easy. You know, whenever I go to the airport, I just wear a turban. Just walk around the airport with a turban and a huge boner. Thank you. Thank you. They say everything comes in handy for the obsessive masturbator. Yeah, it's true. It's true. You know, last night I jerked off to complete privacy. I wore a tinfoil hat while I did it. You know. Thank you. People are afraid of clowns. I don't know if you know this, but people are afraid of clowns. And that's terrible for me because I'm an agent for clowns. I'm a talent agent for clowns, you know? And I'm also afraid of clowns because clowns demand to be paid. They demand to be paid. And they're aggressive about it. You don't just paint a bunch of balloons on the side of a van and expect to lose money. They're very aggressive. But I don't really deal with those types of clowns. Like, I deal with really high-end clowns. Yeah. Because I represent the French. I represent the French market. And that's still a thriving business, clowns. I mean, people are afraid of clowns right now. I mean, in America, people are afraid of clowns. Like, they actually ripped all the clowns out of McDonald's. Ronald McDonald's clowns. They ripped all of them out because it was scaring kids away from the food. That's what happened. Like 7 years ago, they ripped all Ronald McDonald's and hamburgers and whatever out of McDonald's because they were afraid of clowns, and they replaced it with this fucking ad campaign where they say I'm loving it all the time. like some subliminal ad campaign for McDonald's. They say, I'm loving it. Like, ba-da-ba-ba-ba. You know, you've heard it. You know, it's just going to make you love the food, you know? Anyways, as part of this ad campaign, they had this deal where if you're going to McDonald's on Mother's Day, it's part of the I'm Loving It campaign. You have to go to McDonald's on Mother's Day, and you call your mother, and you tell her you love her, they'll give you a free burger and fries. They give you a free meal at McDonald's if you go into McDonald's on Mother's Day and call your mom and tell her you love her. It's the truth. I wouldn't make that up. It was on a commercial for McDonald's. I saw that commercial. I thought, wow, you know, what a great way to disappoint mothers. What a great way to disappoint mothers. Can you imagine, like, mothers, like, getting calls from McDonald's on Mother's Day? You know? It's like, hey, Mom, it's me. I'm at McDonald's. No, I stopped licking feet in that dungeon years ago. I'm much better now. I'm actually, I'm doing great. I'm not even asking for money. Yeah, I've been participating in medical experiments, Mom. You should be proud of me. I'm part of the team that cured Hep C. But, no, Mom, I'm still on the dope. I just wanted to call you and tell you that I love you. You know, I love you. I love you, Mom. Happy Mother's Day. I love you. Thanks for the fries. Yeah, those are the calls people are getting. You know, probably with clicks, too. Angry clicks. Oh, God. It's the truth. But, you know, that's what's going on in America. So that's why I have to resort to the French market for clowns. Because French people enjoy having clowns at funerals. It's a big high-end thing. Like when you die and you're French, like before you die, you start getting a little artistic and they start planning these funerals. They're elaborate, especially if they have money. And they usually have a lot of money and they want to blow it all at once. So they have these funerals that are like 700 people. They're all entertainers and stuff. They just blow all their money on it. And they hire clowns. And the more existential you are as a French person, the more clowns you have at your funeral. And they gotta be expensive. And they gotta be good, you know? So I was in California, and my friend, he works for a construction company, and he says, hey, these people want a clown for like their grandfather's like birthday. And I know that's like his death day, you know? Because they're French, and he's an architect, and she's a psychologist. So I know they got money. I know they're existential. I know they want a good clown, you know? So I say, let me see what I can do. And then I became a clown agent. Because I had no idea what clowns are. I have no idea of anything. I just know there's a trend among French people to hire clowns for funerals. My friend told me to go get a clown. So I went and became a clown agent. Because I'm a comic. And comedians know clowns. They should. They should know clowns. Like, I know several clowns. And I know contortionists. I know a bunch of circus folk. So I immediately started asking around town. You know, I started asking my comic friends where I could find a good clown, you know? And the first thing I did, I went to a coffee shop and I asked around because, you know, it was an open mic. And I talked to a guy from the 60s, and he said he knew a clown. Her name was Flutterby. And Flutterby was a classic clown, you know, a patchwork clown. Like, she had the patchwork, like, clothes and everything, and the floppy hat. And she did balloon animals. And she charged $300 for 2 hours. $300 for 2 hours. I thought, this is great. All right, I already got a clown, you know? And my friend's clown, my friend found the clown, but then he found out that the clown was under house arrest. Like, she had, like, gotten, like, her third DUI, and so she was under house arrest. So I didn't have that clown. But then I found a clown I found a clown that played ukulele and threw knives. I found it through like one of my higher end comic friends. Like he called me back and said, "Hey, I know this clown in Santa Barbara. She throws knives and plays ukulele, and she's pretty fucking hot." You know? And then I found another entire agency of clowns in Los Angeles that are feminist clowns. I found an entire agency of feminist clowns in Los Angeles, and they don't wear any makeup. They just wear big sunglasses. And there's like a whole bunch of them, and they go to like kids' parties, and they entertain kids, you know, for 4 hours, and they all charge like $300. All of these clowns charge $300, except for the one that threw knives. Like she charged $500, but she had a name for herself, you know. So, anyways, I had my 3 clowns. I actually had 3 bids, so I was going to go to my friend and, you know, submit my 3 bids for these clowns. I actually did a good job. And then a friend of mine called me, and he's some guy that sticks meat skewers through his arms, you know. He's a 10-in-1 guy. He has like the blockhead thing and everything, and he's just like fucked up, but he's like super famous. And he called me. He said, I told him about the clowns I had. He said, that clown that throws knives is not a real clown. The clowns that throw knives aren't real clowns. Clowns that play ukuleles aren't really clowns, you know. There's no real clowns on the West Coast. That's what he said to me. There's no real clowns on the West Coast. You gotta find a like clown on the East Coast. There's a few over there. However, I do know one clown on the West Coast. I know one clown, alright? So, get this down. His name is Diego V.K. Bacchietto. Remember that. Diego V.K. Bacchietto. Diego was a child in an Argentinian village, and he had stretchy skin when he was a kid, and the villagers thought he was retarded because they were primitive. So they made him be a clown for the village, like on the road, like a road to the village. He'd be out there soliciting donations as a clown, and he just kept doing that. He was the clown for the village until he became 18, and then he left the village and became the clown at Disneyland. He actually became a clown at Disneyland. That clown at Disneyland. When he was 18. And he worked Disneyland for 12 years. And then he became the lead clown at Circus Vargas, a disreputable circus. And he became the ringmaster for another 15 years at a sleazy circus. Diego V.K. Bacchietto, you know him. Anyways, he's freelance now because Circus Vargas went out of business. There's no more circuses. So he's just cruising the streets, and he has all this money, and he entertains people. What he does is he goes to people's houses, and he shows up in this 1963 Silver Shadow limousine, and he goes to your house and he picks you up in full clown regalia, and he takes you to the fanciest restaurant in town. The fanciest restaurant. Like, everything's arranged. And then you go to this restaurant, and there's complete strangers in this restaurant, and you sit there with this clown, Diego. And Diego just does clown shit in this restaurant for 4 hours. And everybody in the restaurant has to endure it. Everyone in the restaurant endures it because they get a horrible review. They go out of business. It's like a fucking curse. And everybody knows in these high-end restaurants when Diego's going to appear. Like most people do. So he does a bunch of clown shit in there, and then he talks about his life. And then he drives you home. It's like 4 hour. It's a 4-hour adventure. And then he charges $6,500. He charges $6,500 to do that because he's a clown that's really worth money. You know, that's what clowns do. That's how they entertain. It's not his fault that there's no fucking auditoriums got him going, you know? So anyways, I had that clown also on my on what I had. That's another clown on my list. So Diego V.K. Bacchietto, the best clown on the West Coast. I had this clown that threw knives and played ukulele. I had a bunch of feminist clowns, and I had Flutterby. So I had 4 bids. So I went to my friend, and I gave him the 4 bids, and he said, "That's too much fucking clown." He said, "That's too much clown. That's way too much." And I said, "Well, I mean, did they touch your balls when they said hello, these French people? I mean, were they even really French? Were they just like bakers from like Spain?" Anyways, yeah, I did all that work for nothing. That's why I'm pissed, you know. But I was a clown agent. I was a clown agent, you know. It's a seedy world. It's a very seedy world being like a clown these days, you know. There's clown porn now. It's my favorite porn, actually. Actually, my favorite porn genre is revenge porn with clowns in it, or midgets, or both. That's my favorite genre of porn, you know. Because I watch the 2 Girls 1 Cup channel. I'm like the history-free porn. What can I do? I can't get excited about porn anymore, you know. I invented free porn. I'm that old. I invented free porn in 1978.
Mike, right?
Yes.
You were at my party the other night.
Oh, thank you.
Nowhere.
Yeah. I invented free porn in 1978 because they used to have porn just on TV. They used to send porn directly through the television, but people would have to get a descrambler to descramble the porn. You know? They have to have a box on there, on their TV, so they could watch porn. But the thing was, the porn was on the television all the time. All you had to do was descramble it. But you couldn't do it, apparently. But then I found out how to descramble it. I just was able to I was able to dial it in because it was coming in through channels, and channels had knobs. And so what you could do is you could turn the knobs on your channels just randomly until you got between 18 and 19. It's 18 and 5/8 was the channel for the porn. But you'd have to keep raking it back and forth until the channel stuck for half a second. And then you'd see porn. You know, for half a second. It would be all streamy and it'd be different colors. But it'd be recognizable as porn. It'd be some action going on. And you go, "Oh my God, I found porn." You know, it's I was 9 years old. But I was me. I was the guy that invented it. I was resourceful. But now, I can't. I have to watch these fucking things. I was watching this porn the other day. I was watching this porno, and it was just these clowns that were receiving clothing from people. It was these two clowns in a room that would receive mink stoles and items of clothing and little mementos from people. All right, and these clowns would get these notes, and these people would have these articles of clothing, and there'd be a note telling them who this belonged to and why they were so pissed off at him. This mink stole, it was some grandmother's mink stole, and this guy was pissed off at his grandmother because she kept telling him to be a Scientologist, and he didn't care about money anymore. He just didn't care that she was going to write him out of the will anyways. So he sent her this mink stole to these clowns, and these clowns hung the mink stole on the wall, and then they started fucking in front of the mink stole. They just started going at it, animal fucking, for 20 minutes. And they filmed the whole thing. And it was horrifying. They did everything. They did everything, and it was unedited. And then the clowns got off the bed, and they washed themselves in the sink. There was a sink in the room. And they washed themselves and toweled themselves off, and then got dressed. And then they grabbed all these articles of clothing and they put them back in the boxes. with a note and the CD or the DVD from the actual video, and they had vid clips for less on there, and they sent that out, and that was the end of the fucking movie. Like somebody was gonna get that, like somebody was gonna get that mink stole, and they'd be wearing it. Like this grandmother would be getting this mink stole, and then she'd be wearing it for like however long, and then the fucking grandson would show the tape and say, "Ha, you've been clown porned," and and then they'd probably die that way, you know, die remembering that forever. They were in a restaurant wearing clown porn. I mean, it's a great fucking film. It's a great fucking film if you had $8,000. Like if you had $8,000 to invest in that film, I could make it happen because I know people in Simi Valley. I know the people. I know the agency that can do it. I founded that agency. I mean, it's $8,000. Each clown is $1,500. Each clown is $1,500. They do 2 takes, and then it's $5,000 to split between all of us. Plus, we get all the money from the clothes that people send in, and we could charge a lot more money for that. We don't have to charge like $300 like I envision it in this fake video. We could charge like $5,000 for this real thing, and it would be on the black market or the dark web or whatever, wherever I see these pornos. That can happen. I mean, you could make that happen if you had $8,000. All of these things are possible if you have money. That's what I've learned today. Everything is possible if you have money. Oh man. I need drugs to do normal things. I mean, that's my main problem. Like having money. I need drugs just to make money. Just to keep money. All the time. Like I had to drop 5 hits of acid just to do my taxes. It's the truth. I had to drop 5 hits of acid just to do my taxes. And I'm claiming like a fucking astral body as a blind dependent. You know, back in 1989 when it was 3 deductions, when it was legal. I'm that old. You know, when I was in kindergarten, we made ashtrays in class. That's how old I am. Yeah, I'm old. You know, nobody sued the school. We got graded on it. We brought them home, and people were happy with it. So I've done 5 hits. I had to do 5 hits of acid just to do my taxes, just to receive this benefit. You know. And I've been audited, of course. I mean, I've been audited, but I never really worry about it because I save all my receipts. Yeah. And the last time I was audited, this fucking tax assessor came up to me and says, "Hey, Mr. Coppolino, it says here you have 19 sole proprietorships. I don't think you know that's not possible. I'm willing to bet you don't know that's possible. Also, you have 44 limited liability corporations, Mr. Coppolino, and you're sitting here at this coffee shop. You have 44 limited liability corporations, and you have a non-profit corporation that exchanges currency between Malaysia and Greece. Mr. Coppolino, the jig is up. I mean, how can you possibly exist on $4,000 a year?" And I had to look at him and said, "How do I even know I'm really here right now?" You know? And that's how you get out of an audit. Like in my world. Oh, man. Bath salts get a bad rap, don't they? Bath salts. They used to be so fucking great. Everyone used to do them. And then some guy chewed someone's face off on a bicycle path in Florida. And then it ruined it. Well, almost ruined it. I mean, for every guy that shoots someone's face off, like high on bath salts, is like 2,000 people just visiting the emergency room with a shampoo bottle shoved up their ass. And then everybody else has a great time. You know, everybody does bath salts, like people like me. But, you know, whenever I do bath salts, I always like to roofie my own drink. You know, that when I get the urge to chop off my dick, I can quit being so impulsive. Oh, God. I don't know. I study drugs. I don't actually take them. I study drugs. I was watching this documentary the other day. It was like a fucking David Attenborough special. And it was a documentary about spiders. And they were testing drugs on spiders. And filming it to see what kind of webs they would draw. It's a real documentary. They filmed this whole thing. And they started feeding these spiders flies laced with LSD. And in increasing doses. And what would happen is the spiders would start drawing really fucking crazy webs because it was a valid study. Now, it's a valid study because spiders are the only things that can actually communicate with the world as like an invertebrate, but they can communicate intelligently through their webs. So you can see how fucked up a spider is getting. See, spiders start drawing little peace symbols and little Mobius strips. And totally unintentionally. It was just like, just the way their hallucinations ran. Like they just kept thickening up the webs. And finally, the spiders just drew like a fucking ball of web, a solid ball of web in a corner of the cage. And they stood on the ball of web and they said, I'm done with this experiment. And they just kept doing that for like 5 more tries. They just kept giving them more acid. They kept getting the same thing, only a much tighter ball of web. And for longer. And I thought, oh, this is a fucking powerful experiment. You know, and it's a little intimidating because, you know, spiders have intelligence, you know? That's a little scary. But seriously, what a horrible trip for these flies. What a fucking horrible trip for these fucking flies that are on acid and they're being part of this experiment. It's fucking horrible because flies have 10,000 eyes. And if they're on acid, that's terrible. That's a horrible start. You have 10,000 eyes, imagine, in the fucking trails. And then they're stuck for the first time in their fucking fly lives. They're stuck. They don't know what stuck is. Flies have complete freedom. I mean, they have wings and they eat shit all day. That's complete freedom because shit's everywhere. And you can get to it if you have wings. And then they're stuck in a web while they're on acid. They don't know what that means. And then they get eaten by a spider. Like, what the fuck? They get eaten by a spider while they're on acid. That's the fucking worst scenario for being on acid. Like, if I was on acid and I was getting eaten by a spider, I would just think, oh, the breathing exercises aren't working. I can't believe I'm being eaten by a spider. And then I would just sober up. While I was on acid, being eaten by the spider, I just immediately get sober. And then I just, like, vaporize. But still be, like, on acid. That's, like, fucked up. That's horrifying. Like, I was at Disneyland on 2 hits of acid and I was fucking terrified. Just at Disneyland. I was freaked out. I was on Pirates of the Caribbean. And I wasn't even on the ride. I was just staring at the restaurant. I just freaked out. All these fucking lights are going all over the place. And they had to take me away. They had to take me like a smaller section of the park. Like the David Cronenberg section of the park. And have me like sit underneath the park in this underground chamber. And just wait for my friends to pick me up. That's how fucking bad it is on acid. Like, if you're a novice. Like, I'm much better now. But, you know, I'm not weak. But I'm just saying, I just try to generate empathy for flies, you know? I am. I'm a Buddhist. I think they have a terrible time in that experiment. I just felt horrible, you know? Also, they tested, like, other drugs on the spiders. You know, I was watching that too. I mean, I couldn't help it. I'm like fascinated by spiders. You know, but they tested other drugs on them. They tested caffeine on the spiders, and they spun webs that wouldn't catch anything. Like they had unequal spacing. It was like some mosaic of like webs because they're like moving too fast. You know. And then they dosed these spiders with fucking meth, and the spiders realized they're covered in spider and flipped out. Yeah, fucking insane, right? Oh. So far, all of this is true. Like, these aren't even jokes. This is just all truth. So think about that, I guess. I guess I should tell more jokes. I'm just going to tell, like, some stupid jokes and smart jokes. Because that's how I test an audience. I tell smart jokes, and I tell one stupid joke, and you have to get which joke is stupid. Alright? That's how it works. So I'm going to start telling, like, jokes that are smart. Tell 5 jokes that are smart, or 4 jokes that are smart, and 1 joke that's stupid, and you get to figure it out, alright? You ready? Alright. So I heard William Shatner's version of 8675309 the other day. William Shatner's version. You know, he sings. He's Captain Kirk. Anyways, it wasn't very melodic. Yeah, because it's Captain Kirk. He just kept repeating the number until you got it. He just kept saying 8,675,399. You know, 8,675,039. You know, that's what he said. Alright. Saw the new Wonder Woman porno the other day because I'm fascinated by porn. Saw the new Wonder Woman porno. It was alright. You know, it's the one where Wonder Woman uses a vagina as a golden lasso. Yes, it's that one. You know, it's like all the other Wonder Woman pornos. Like, she screws people and gets them to tell the truth. But the latest one didn't have much of a budget. You know, because every time Wonder Woman screwed someone, they just told her they didn't know anyone in Hollywood. Alright. Oh. So my ex-girlfriend has a Mayan calendar tattooed on her back. In 2012, she expired. Alright. So I was talking to my financial planner the other day, and after going over the books, we decided my best option for retirement would be to take enough drugs to hallucinate a condominium. You know? That way I could sell the condominium, I could buy more drugs, and I could hallucinate a 3-bedroom house with a swimming pool. Seems like a terrific plan. Only trouble is, every time I meet this financial planner, we do all the drugs, and his office is still a coffee shop. Still a coffee shop. So I suggested to him, hey, this is bullshit. We're businessmen. Why don't we just take enough drugs to hallucinate more drugs? We can eliminate the middleman. He said we shouldn't do that. But I did it anyways. And now I live in Greeley. Thank you. Thank you. So I don't know if you know this, but the famous burlesque group, the Suicide Girls, this famous burlesque group, the Suicide Girls, they have a lot of tattoos. Well, they're being sued. Yeah, they're being sued for a breach of contract. They're being sued for breach of contract. Yeah, as part of the settlement, they're going to have to stage a live reenactment of Shirley Jackson's famous short story, The Lottery. Yeah, Shirley Jackson's famous short story, you know it. It's a classic. M. Night Shyamalan just signed on to direct the shower scene. It's fucking grim. It's the grimmest thing M. Night Shyamalan has ever done. Or so I've heard. But, you know, it's M. Night Shyamalan, so there's a great twist at the end. And the twist is, the audience is illiterate. Okay. Alright, so which one is it? Which one is a stupid joke and which one is a smart one? Actually, it's a trick question. They were all stupid jokes because none of you got them. Yeah, so I'm in business. I'm a comic. You know, I charge money for shows. That's the biggest joke, you know. But that's not true. I actually got paid recently. I've been getting paid. It's been nice. But I have a free show going on. This is like the end of the album. It's the 30-second album of jokes for schizophrenics. But it's the end of the album, so now I'm just doing promo. I think that was good enough. That's another joke. Anyways, I have a show going on at Mutiny Café on January 11th at midnight. And so it's at 11:59 on January 11th. It's not Friday at midnight. It's Saturday at midnight. 11:59 p.m. We're gonna have a showcase at the Mutiny Café. It's gonna be sleazy. It's gonna be sleazy, but within the rules. All right. We got. I'll tell you the comics we have. We have Mandy Kay from Boulder. We have Carl Piken from Boulder. We have Michael Isaacs. Michael Isaacs is going to be here. We have Amanasani. Amanasani is going to be here. It's fucking great. And Bear Quattlebaum will be here. And Bear Quattlebaum will be playing the game. But nobody knows what the game is. Because there'll be an audience. And they have no idea who any of these people are. Because that's how comedy works. You know? You don't know who these people are. You just show up. And then they have a great time. There's like 40 seats. You could have one of these seats on Saturday. You know, along with a bunch of other people. So why don't you show up? It'll be fucking great. It's the second show we're going to have. And it's going to be a show we do like all year. So it's second Saturdays of every month. And then there'll be other stuff. But in the meantime, that's been it. This has been the 30-second practice session for the album Jokes for Schizophrenics. I'm going to get better. Because, you know, I got 10 more to do. I got 10 more practice sessions to do before I actually do it live and get it recorded. So I got to be like all ready to go. So that's it. That's it. I've been Mike Coppolino. Have a great night. Thank you. Oh.